Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you a very natural body cream. It is great. It actually is from India and an auntie taught it to me. So you'll really like it. It's very natural and involves apples because it's an apple cream, an apple body cream. So, and it's for your face as well, and it also works for burns. If you have really bad burns, you just apply it and it starts little by little. Doesn't mean you're gonna have it disappear. It's a really bad, so like 3-degree burn, but it's gonna at least a little better. And if you have skin that falls off, it softens very well. Okay, so now we're gonna go wash our apples. Then we remove the stem. Put it in there to boil so it softens and you can mush it. There. Put it over there and in it goes. Okay? And now we put it on high. Put it in there and you let it boil. Keep watch of it with this. Let's throw these away. Let's dry our area. Alright, now you will need 1 or 2 apples, depending on how much cream you want to make. And on here, we have our butter, which is soft. It should be softened. Very soft, like you can see it right now. And then we have our brown sugar, our olive oil, and our flour. Can be any flour, by the way, and our water. Okay. So now, let's go make the cream. The apple is last, so it doesn't matter if you start this process, you just put the mashed apple. And for those who don't know, tomorrow, which is Monday, I am doing the juice stew just because I have almost all the ingredients, and the ones that I don't have, I can wing it. So this is for tomorrow. Starting off today, we're preparing for the dish. It's in honor of all of you. Alright, now that said, let's go to our stove. There we go. Alright, now our butter's in on high. Move this a little bit to the back. And if you want for a little bit of it's not a big major difference, so I'm not putting it in, but you can also put a little bit of cinnamon in there, but it's not really necessary. It's like an option. See how little of water I just put in there? All our olive oil in there. Mix it in. And this is going to take a while to soften, so be patient with that. See that? That's about 5 tablespoons of sugar, and that's about 2 tablespoons of flour. You can reduce or add more depending on how much you're going to be using. And no, this is not to eat, so don't try tasting your cream. just something for your skin. Very natural. This is great. And you're going to let it roughen because it needs to be like, it has to become a little bit, like, how can I say it? Like, not so gooey, more like rough. More like when you apply cream, you notice it's not gooey, it's just like very well to apply. So treat it as a cream, a body cream, and let it roughen to that level. Don't let it roughen too much or it'll be like a rock and you don't want that either. So you really have to keep your stuff close by. I do recommend you use a wooden spoon stirring. It really does help better. It's better for it. But I didn't find my wooden spoon, as you can see. See how it's starting to just a little bit roughen? And then you will let it cool down while you wait for the apples. When the apples are ready, that is when the process really starts becoming incredible. Put that over there. And let's go wash this stuff. We wash our stuff not in our way. Tomorrow will be exciting because I get to do this too. I thought I was going to do it in February, but I thought, why not do it on Monday? I have the meat, I have the beans, and the things I don't have, I can replace some of it. It's the same stew that a rabbi's wife taught me. A little different, just because of the lack of some ingredients. So you see how it's boiling? That's it. That's how it should look. See how it's just very strong? So you move it off the stove, which you'll actually go back to when the apples are soft. When that is soft, you will add the mashed apple in there, and then you will see the magic begin. So let's let that cool right there with the little spoon like that. Okay, so the apples are softening. While we wait for them, they're almost ready. It's like about 20 minutes or so until it's soften. Tomorrow, I'm making a special dish. This is called Cholent, which is a Jewish stew. You usually use, I'll show you what I have. You see, here's the meat that you use. And here is the beans, pink one. And here is the lima beans that I'm using. And here's the little bit of rice to replace the barley. So that you know, do buy barley. It is the thing to use, but I didn't have time to buy it, so I'm winging it with the rice. You can put the barley, and you can also buy 2 meat bones, you know, the bones for the meat, and you can put them in there as well. I'm not using that either, and I'm not putting any eggs in it as well, so I'm just winging it just a little, but I asked him, it's alright. I asked the person who taught me how to make this, which was a rabbi's wife, so I said, okay, if I can replace it with rice and all that, but it's barley that you use, and you can put rice in there as well. You use sweet potatoes. I am not using sweet potatoes tomorrow either, so because I have none, but that's alright. So the eggs and the sweet potato and the barley, all that stuff, you can use that, you know? So keep in mind that will make it even better. Those 3 things I just told you. And the meat bone, which would be 2 meat bones, usually. That's how much you get. Now, let's get well, that's softening the potato ready over here, so that we can have it ready for tomorrow. When I find the potato peeler. There we go. So this dish is very special. It's usually used for Shabbat, usually in a slow cooker, and left 12 hours overnight, so that you don't have to be, you're not supposed to be doing anything on Shabbat anyway, so it's ready, set, you serve. You can make it for special occasions as well, but I say put in the egg, the hard-boiled egg, put in the barley, put in the sweet potato, put in the meat bones. It will make it even better. If you don't have it, you can do like I am doing. I'm winging it with what I have. And I have almost everything anyway, so you're going to love it. You're going to love this recipe. It's incredible. It's one of my favorites, and you're going to love it. And it's in honor of all my supporters, all my donors, all my future donors, all my future supporters, all my fans, anyone who runs into Milk Honey Advice. This is for you. This recipe is really to acknowledge how great you all are, and how that you should all learn something delicious, and this is something really delicious. As you all know, I was a vegetarian for a while, but I am not a vegetarian. Just because in my household it's really hard to be a vegetarian, and it wasn't easy to go back. It's not something I do. I don't eat meat every day. I started on New Year's, and it's not my thing, but I am learning slowly to eat, but not as much as I used to. It's not something I really respect, all animals and creatures, so it's just like I'm asking forgiveness to them when I do taste them. This is how I am now. So I will be eating from this delicious Shabbat stew. You're all gonna love it. So we'll peel our potatoes. We'll let them soak in water. And then tomorrow we'll cut them in half to make room for the meats and stuff that's going in there. Remember, this recipe takes about 8 to 12 hours. If you are doing it like I am, if you're doing it in a slow cooker, 12 hours overnight. But if you're doing it like me, not in a slow cooker, then it's going to take you 8 to 12 hours just standing there, letting the meat cook. Let the meat cook very well. So you peel them all, depending on the size of the bowl, and depending on the size of the bowl and how many people. That's what you do. You can see this is like the preparation for Cholent and the preparation for the cream. That's almost ready, the apples. I thought, why not let people see what I'm doing a day ahead. You obviously don't have to do it a day ahead, but it's just like, it's easier for me to unfreeze it a day ahead and have the potatoes peeled and soak with the beans and everything a day ahead and have it all ready for tomorrow. Which again is in honor of you all you wonderful people who actually listen to me and have been there for me in any way. You all mean the world to me, and it's really great. I'm a strong believer that I wouldn't still have Milk Honey Advice if it wasn't because there are people there showing that they actually view and take the time to listen to me. And you'll love these recipes. It's like really natural and things, you know. We don't do cooking often anymore. We don't do things by hand anymore. Everything has to be by machines, and that's why I'm not doing it with the slow cooker, because I want to teach people that we can still go back to the way it used to be. You know, whenever Cholent started, which I'm not 100% when it started, because, you know, if you're Jewish and you know, please leave me a comment so I can find out. But whenever it started, you know, they didn't start with slow cookers. I can bet you that. You know, at that time there was no slow cooker to cook in. You know, you did it the hard way, and the hard way is by the way I'm doing it. Now, This is the recipe, the wife of the rabbi who had taught me about a year ago. And so I called her up, make sure I could change the recipe just a little so I could make it tomorrow. Now let's go back to our apples. Which, you see how they look? Let's just leave it a little longer, like 5 more minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. So while we do that, I'll tell you what are very needed things on the dish for tomorrow. We will have, you soak the beans overnight like you have socked. I just use a little bit of beans because my pot is not really big and it's not going to fit a lot. And I have baby lima beans and I have pinto beans soaking, and then I have no barley, so I replaced it with rice, which is okay. Then you can actually add some rice if you really wanted rice in there. You need to have 2 meat bones, which you don't. It's optional. In my mind, it isn't optional, but I don't have them, so I'm not using them. The meat and onion, garlic, salt, pepper, tomatoes, cilantro, potatoes, boiled eggs. I'm not using eggs, but it's a good idea to use the eggs as well, and sweet potatoes. So the sweet potatoes, the barley, and the eggs. Do it that way. Put that extra in there, and you boil the eggs beforehand. So this is going to be very exciting. It's really an honorable. Okay, so now that our apples are ready, let's just turn that off. Let's move that over to this one. Can you see that plate over there? That's where the cream's going to start being created. So we'll move our apples. And you know what? I don't need this plate. Thinking about it, I'll just wash this and put the apple on there. So let me throw this away. I was starting to have this habit of just having things somewhat ready, so it would be faster. But I think that if you really want to learn something, you'll go through the entire video watching it. So that you can learn. So I'll just treat it as it is, you know, keeping it real, keeping it as real as possible. I'm not going to always have everything somewhat prepared. Tomorrow we're going to have a long video because it's going to be the whole thing. Alright. Now, this has become a little, see how it looks? Very like a cream, like a body cream, but you'll see how creamier it will look after the apple. So we grab our apples. Well, 1 apple here. Second apple here, and we'll take the water with us. Just put it over here. Alright, and now what we do is keep this water here. Okay, so our apples are really hot. Keep that in mind. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Recommend it, let it cool. Because you can see this, I don't know if you can see this, but the smoke is coming out of these apples. So, keep in mind it's going to be a very hot apple. Okay. Make sure you don't have like the nasty little part of the apple that's like right in the middle. I don't ever like having that in there. So let's cut that up just like that. It doesn't have to be that greatly cut, just cut enough. See how soft they are? Very incredibly soft. Grab your apples in there. See how it looks? They're all mushy. That's how they're supposed to be. It's about 20-15 minutes. You let it soften in that bowl. Again, you can let it cool down. You don't have to be like me, but I am on camera, so I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, so it doesn't bore you. So, now, we add our last apples. You can peel the apples, by the way, before you put them in there. but I don't see the need to. So we go back to our stove. We start mushing this to the level that we need to. So look really in there if you can see that. Again, you can, if you really want to, you can peel it. I'm not peeling it. I don't see any point to it. Okay. All that in the skin, move it all around there. Take all that the skin has in there though. All that, you take it out. Whatever you see left over, like I said, you can just unpeel it. You just can peel it and you're done. I don't peel it. I like it. I do it this way. Okay. Move it over a little. Move it over a little. See all that skin that you see in there, all the filling in there. Whatever you let spill, clean it up. Alright. Just one more little skin in there. Turn it off. Now you will let it cool. Okay, so finally our cream is ready. You put it in here, so that's like a little, by the way, the soft peel works for burns. So you place your peel, your apple peel, right on the burn, and you let it there for 15 minutes. So that's why you keep the peels. The rest you throw away. Put a little cream in there. And no, you don't eat it. It's not to eat. It's not applesauce. It's a cream. Even if it could taste good, don't do it. And you just refrigerate it all the time. So you apply it on your skin. You see that? Like that. Like it was. See? It's a nice... You'll smell like apple, but it's a good taste. Good smell. And there is refreshing, made by you body cream. And it works for the face as well. Like that. Softly put it on. Put it very well on your face. Like that. And you'll have a very nice perfume of apple all over you. There you have it. Your homemade natural body cream. Thank you for viewing.